and valleys. So if you learn nothing else today, I certainly just taught you when not to go to the pharmacy. Now, if you look at what happens during accuracy, during these peak hours, when people are under stress, they have a lot on their mind, they have customers lined up at the counter, you'll see that manual accuracy, studies have been done that manual accuracy is about 95.4%. A human being can be accurate 95.4% of the time on the counter. And that drops down to about 90% at peak hours. So during these crunch times, during these rush times, everybody's under stress, they're all running around trying to keep the customer happy, and it can lead to mistakes. And that's the crisis that occurs when we talk about what is happening in pharmacy today. So the solution, and it was clear to the founders of the company even back in 2001, is that technology had a critical role to play, especially in higher capacity, higher volume type pharmacies. And if you look at how a pharmacist spends their time, we did an industrial engineering study, did some workflow analysis, had some folks studying this problem. And you'll see that approximately half the time with new prescription processing, refilling, script filling, approximately half the time is spent just processing the prescription. And yet, pharmacists did not go to school to learn how to count by fives. They have been trained in patient care, been trained in counseling, been trained in customer service, all about trying to make sure that the customer gets the right care, the right service, the right drugs. And when you look at that chart, you don't see a lot of that up there. Perhaps this immunization part, there's not a lot of time spent counseling. It's more time is being spent filling. So we have a kind of a perfect storm of, it takes an average of about 9.1 minutes to fill a prescription, and our technology can cut that filling time in half. And what that does is when you have automation doing what it does best, which is dispensing medications quickly and accurately, it frees the staff to do what they do best, which is provide care and counseling to the patients. So this is kind of a one-two punch that we think it takes to ensure that patients not only receive correct care and medications and strengths, but they also understand how to take those medications in a way that work most effectively and safely for them. So we have what we call the circle of pharmacy care. You'll see the three words up there are fill, serve, and adhere. And this suite of products on the bottom is what Parata currently offers today. So again, 6 or 7 years ago, we had it with one product, one idea, and over the past 6 years, we've been able to grow this company to serve in several different areas of the industry. So I'm going to be talking about each of these, starting with fill. So one of the things we have is what we call the Parata Max and the Parata Mini. And I have here with me a cell, which you see in the middle. This is our flagship product, the Parata Max and Parata Mini. And while there were some automation solutions out on the market prior to Parata over the past 10 years, the adoption rate was really only about 2%. It was very low. The founders of Parata started a really highly secretive research project. We're literally 4 guys in a shop trying to figure out how to count small objects of various shapes and sizes and weights. They didn't really know what they were working on. They just knew they had to count things. They didn't even know they were bills. And actually, one of the guys told me later that he thought he was working on some Department of Defense thing. He wasn't sure what was going on. So it was quite humorous. But the outcome was a counting cell. And what they ultimately decided on was a cell that operates on the principles of air. We count with air. And so we have a cell here, and I'll show a demonstration of it in a second, where basically we spent 2 years developing this technology and then introduced it to the market for the first time in 2003. So one of the things about the cell that is interesting is that this is the first product and only product on the market that offers what we call on-site calibration. So as you folks know from taking your own medications, pills come in different shapes, sizes, and weight. And this single device has to be able to handle all of those things. We have adjustments on the top, on the top and bottom here that adjust the channel height for the width and length of the pills. We have pressure settings that we count with different levels of pressure. And we have baffle settings here that allow us to feed the pills in different, according to the different sizes. So it operates all on high pressure. So this cell actually has a compressor that is feeding it, an air preparation system, and we basically count pills with air. And the interesting thing is that we have 99.9% only miscount 1 out of every 10,000 times. The closest piece of technology today is 1 in 1,000, and we are 1 in 10,000. So an order of magnitude improvement over anything that exists on the market. We also have the fastest technology on the market. This cell can count up to 45 pills per second. It's very, very fast. And I actually have a video here that I'll show you a counting process real quick. I don't have the sound on, but this works the way it's supposed to. We may need that IT guy after all.
Is that a shaky camera, or are you doing a vibratory thing?
It's a shaky camera. There's no vibration in it at all. I'm trying to figure out why this isn't working. Of course, I tested this right before I started it. Okay, let me start it over. It's at the end. All right, one more time. This cell is set up in a test system. It gives you a nice side shot, and it's full of plastic pills. We test with plastic pills. And you're seeing it, and I'm not. That's what's going on. My apologies. So it did run, didn't it? Yeah. Okay, it's not running on mine. That's why I didn't see it. So I'm going to run one more time to explain to you what's happening. So it is a shaky camera. What we have here is a preparation, and you're seeing 90 pills fly through that cell in about 2.5 seconds. And we are verifying it on a scale that shows that the 90 count is correct on the scale. So it's a very, very fast counting piece of technology. Now the cell itself, while it is the core kind of DNA, everything that we do, and a lot of research and development went into this. It really is nothing without the robots and the other devices that we plug it into. So the first product that I'm going to talk to you about is what we call the Parata Max. And the Parata Max automates about 60% of the pharmacy volume in the store. Now again, we're talking about oral solids. Not everything that is dispensed in a pharmacy is an oral solid. There are liquids, there are creams, there are blister packs, there are other things. But 60% of all the prescriptions that go out the door, oral solids, can be dispensed through a Parata Max in a cell like this. We also have what we call a supercell, which is basically just a larger capacity. This holds about 500 cc's, and this holds about 2,000 cc's. So it's about 4 times the size in terms of the capacity that it holds. Larger pills, higher moving drugs are what this is for. So like I said, the Max can automate about 60% of what's in the store, and we automate the prescription dispensing. And in a nutshell, what the Max will do is it selects a vial, it puts a label on the vial, counts the pills, caps the vial, sorts it by patient name, puts it in a drop-off bin, all in about 20 seconds. So the Max can fill a prescription in about 20 seconds. A human can fill a prescription in a few minutes. So it's an enormous improvement over what a human can do. Plus, the nice thing about automation, as you folks know, is it doesn't call in sick, it doesn't complain, it basically is it's the perfect application for a machine. Counting can be a very mundane task. And again, these pharmacists did not go to school to learn to count by fives. They want to be in front of the patient, doing patient care, counseling, making sure you're getting the right medications, you understand the side effects, that sort of thing. So what we did with this machine, our vision with the Max, was to create a machine that could run virtually all day long unattended. Again, the average store, actually the average customer of ours, will run somewhere in the neighborhood of 300 to 500 scripts. We have some high flyers that do run in the 800 to 1,000 range. But we wanted to create a machine that could run approximately 500 scripts and not need to be touched throughout the day. It would run largely unattended. So that means that it has to have the kind of capacities that you need. The vial capacity, the label capacity, the cell capacity, the drugs, all of that. And our vision actually has come true in that we have many, many customers who basically replenish the machine, fill up everything, put in the vials, put in the caps, put in the drugs, and they run the thing all day, and they don't have to touch it. At the end of the day, they fill it back up, and it's ready for the next day. And that takes approximately 30 minutes. It takes them 30 minutes to get everything replenished and put in. I've also learned, as we employ these pieces of technology out there, that a lot of these folks are leaving machines on overnight. And it's fascinating because the units are actually filling now unattended. When you call in